going down to Miami. So we've got the travel Sunday, and the players will be off tomorrow. And then we'll reconvene down there and start our meetings and our prep for the final week, final few days before we play. So anyways, with that, time's yours.
Coach, before you go, can you talk a little bit about the rich history of this franchise and the traditions here and how your players seem to embrace that?
Yeah, they do. There's great history here. I mean, when you think about Lamar Hunt and all he did for the National Football League, for the AFL, and then the merging part of the two leagues, and then how he handled himself during after the merge took place, and the leadership he presented there. And then you look at where Clark's taken it from there, and he's done a great job with it. So it's family strong. You know that. I've sat in a lot of meetings and had a chance to witness that down at the owner meetings, and they're strong. And you get a great feeling of foundation, and then you look at our players, they feel that. You understand it. Excuse me, you know the history, you understand that, and feel it when the AFC Championship trophy is named after the original owner of the team, you know that. So,
Coach, you bring that up back here. Bobby Bell being on the podium with you, representing so many great players. The Chiefs were kind enough to invite so many of the former players back. Yeah, no, it was great to have Bobby up there. He's special. He was a great player. He looks like he still can play, and he's old. So they had some great talent there, and on that football team, and it was obvious by the championship. So he's around, as a lot of players are. We encourage that, like having the guys here. They bring great history and energy to the guys, and they kind of fellowship with the young guys and educate them on how great the city is and so on. So it's fun to have them here.
You have the heat turned up pretty high in the indoor facility. How much is that because it's cold outside, or you want to try to replicate what the players will be practicing in Miami?
Yeah, well, no, I just didn't want the snow to accumulate on the ceiling and to fall down. Herbie, doggone it. You got to think all the different angles, man. But no, I mean, we were just keeping it room temperature in there, so I mean, that's kind of what we're going to be doing.
Sorry, Coach. And I know you've always been fond of the time of being an offensive line coach and how much that is the backbone of everything you do on offense. Just when you were at Missouri in your coaching career, just what do you remember most about being an online coach there that has obviously helped in some cases as an athletic coach?
I remember having to deal with Vahe. That's what I remember having to deal with. It was great. I worked for a good man, Bob Stahl. Worked for him at two different places, and you know he did it the right way. And it was great competition. Had a chance to play. Our team played against Eric Bieniemy. I've told that story before. It took him 5 downs to beat us, and I remind him of that often. But what a great experience. I love Columbia. The university is phenomenal. I mean, I hate admitting it, but they've put out some good journalists.
What about the National Football League made you want to jump to there and not pursue getting the head coach in college?
So I had an opportunity with Mike Holmgren, so I knew him from when I just got done playing and at BYU, and he asked me if I wanted to go to Green Bay. So, which is it was sweet and sour. I left a team that was just starting to climb at Missouri and get us over the hump, and that was the sour part. I felt like I kind of ditched out on those guys, and then we'd all been together for a long time. So, but then I had a great opportunity with Mike Holmgren at Green Bay, and you know it helped pop me into a position where I could be a head coach and be here. So.
And your teams have always had personalities like Hugh Douglas and Donovan Matt back in Philadelphia, but this team seems to have so much of it in so many different areas. And they celebrate, and they talk confidently at the podium. Like, is that something that you've pushed as you've gotten older in your career, or is it just a natural thing that's happening with this team?
Yeah, I think it's by the individual, and then you get them together. You get them all together, and they kind of feed off of each other. And this is kind of this age, this time of life at this time being 2020, right? So this is how it's evolved since I came in the league. We were barely getting cell phones back then. So, I mean, it's now you can't get the guy that you give them a break so they can be on the cell phone. I mean, it's different. It's a different world. But they do have a great personality. And I've said from the time I've been a head coach, let your personality show. I mean, that's part of this thing, not only as a player on the field, but also when you're off. And I mean, you still got to stop at the red light, but you got to, you can let your personality show. There's nothing wrong with that.
Coach, is this the most fun you've had in your profession? I mean, I know your business mentality, but is this year just like the most fun you've had as a coach?
Yeah, so listen, I love doing what I do. So, but we've had some great moments. I mean, it's been, yeah, I can't compare. It's hard to compare that. I mean, I enjoyed some of these other teams I've been with too, so I'd be slighting the guys there. I've had fun with them. And, you know, we're all honored to be doing this, as you guys are. So they're not a lot, small fraternity, whether it's the media or, you know, the players and coaches. So I try to enjoy every day. And I've had fun this year, but I've had fun other years too. So.
Andy, was such an emphasis on trying to keep things normal, like I said, there's regular season games. Do you still sense a different energy this week?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I missed the Super Bowl, so there are only 2 teams practicing, and you're one of them. So it's there's a certain energy that comes with that, but it takes certain energy playing the game too. Every time you move up in the playoffs, the game gets faster. So this will be fast and furious, this one, and 2 good teams playing each other. So it's yeah, no, it's different. I mean, there's no doubt. You try to keep the foundation of it, the practices and meeting time, all those things. You try to keep consistent and the same. So, and even with the fluctuation that you might have once you go down to Miami, you give them an itinerary so they know where they need to be and what they're going to do, and you don't throw a lot of surprises at them. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to, within all the media and the hype, you're still trying to get ready to play a football game against a good football team.
Coach, yesterday Coach Tobe said that he's been really impressed with a lot of players asking the right questions. What's been your experience as the preparation's gone on this week and players maybe asking more questions?
Yeah, they you know, they do. There are a lot of things that start once you hit the Monday after the championship game. So the NFL flies a bunch of people in here, and you have meetings after meetings after meetings after meetings. They actually house themselves here, and they're in where our cafeteria is. They're in there every day to answer questions for the organization, members of the organization, which includes the players, players' wives, coaches' wives. So they keep that open early in the morning till late in the evening. So so it stays organized. So the guys ask. They're not afraid to ask questions and figure out, you know, what's going on and what's the next step. A lot of them have family members that go to the game, so they want to make sure that that's taken care of and that those people have an enjoyable time.
Coach, you seem to be a sentimental favorite in this game with a lot of people around the league expressing support and rooting for you to get a ring. And I'm sure you probably have heard a lot from former players and coaches this week too. How does it feel when you get that kind of outpouring that the people are rooting for you?
Yeah, it's humbling. I mean, I appreciate all that. They know how I'm wired. I mean, I do appreciate it. But they also know I'm going to get ready for the game. And, you know, it's that time where there are a lot of outside influences that take place, and you got to kind of stay focused on it. And then when it's all said and done, then you deal with all that. But right now, try to stay at tunnel vision as possible. But I do appreciate all of that. And I have, you know, people have reached out and said it's great. It's an unbelievable experience.
What is the percentage, the game plan you have?
Say the first part.
What is the percentage, the game plan you have?
I didn't hear the first word. I'm half deaf, so you got to help me with that. Say the part of the game plan I heard. What was the first part? What?
The percentage, 100%, 90%, the game plan you have.
Oh, how much do we have in right now? Yeah. Good question though. I'm glad we got that straight. That's a good question. So what we try to do is get the game plan in now, and so before you have the distractions down in Miami. So we've worked hard at that as coaches and the players to get the most of the information. That doesn't mean there won't be a little tweak here or there that you got to fix before the game. But for right now, you know, you got to just about 100% of the game plan is in and ready to go.
Andy, there was a story that's come out this week about Matt Moore trying to understand all the installs. He said it was like week 3 or 4. He's in the meeting with you, Patrick, some other guys, and Patrick finished your sentence. as part of whatever game plan that was being discussed in that moment. Is that your favorite moment this year with Patrick, to know that he can complete your sentences now in terms of how you guys think about the game the same way, or is there something different that you've enjoyed the most?
Yeah, we've been around each other a long time, so a lot of hours. But yeah, no, he, first of all, Patrick's a smart guy, and he's observant. He takes in everything. He doesn't miss anything. And that's unique characteristic. I think the old guys will tell you that. Matt Moores and Chad Henney's, they've been around, and he's unique that way. He doesn't miss a beat. But I'm glad he's thinking like that, and that helps as a coach, that you're on the same page.
Last two. Coach, how much have you changed, if any, from what you did the first Super Bowl trip?
Yeah, it's hard to remember all that. That was a long time ago. The base fundamentals are the same. I probably rearranged the schedule just a little bit and how we do things, but it's similar. Yeah.
Coach, along the same lines of Matt's question, they're hearing from people around the league. I had an opportunity to talk to Corey Simon recently, and he looked back on that Super Bowl and he said that he's never gotten over it, that loss. When did you get over it, or are you still not over that?
Yeah, so the crazy part about this business is you remember all those. You remember all the losses. And and they kind of sometimes overlap some of the wins, you know. So, but you do. You learn to get over it and you move on. Corey is done playing now. So I'm still going and still doing. I'm in the business here. He's doing other things that are good. And but it's different. So. Yeah, and Herbie, every loss should hurt because you should be exhausting yourself to get ready for that game. So it should be that way with a regular season game. I mean, this is an emotional sport and an exhausting sport that way. So you put your heart into it. So if you do it right, you should feel it, and it should last. You know, to a point. To a point, you're not going to jump off the bridge because you lost, but you're going to feel it, right? So you got to handle that.
Thank you.
Okay, we're done.
Any question?
Coach said you guys basically got the game plan all in. You still got to wait a week. You got to go down there and do this. What's your level of anxiousness right now to just kind of get going and play some football?
Can't wait. Can't wait to actually get down there and feel the atmosphere. And it's going to be definitely a lot of people there, and definitely got to still stay focused. A lot of family members coming in, but just stay locked in. And the objective is to go out there and win the game. So we just got to stay focused and still hone in on the game plan and still look at it and enjoy the process.
You've had an opportunity, obviously, now to take a look at the 49ers secondary. What jumps out about them, and especially with Richard Sherman still continuing to play at a high level?
It's a good team in general, and I think they feed off the front line, defensive line, but it's a lot of smart guys out there reading concepts, and they got Richard Sherman, who was a Hall of Famer when he leaves, so we're going to have to be prepared and go out there and battle.
Brett Veach and Andy Reid both talked about just your willingness to do whatever it is for the team and that you're not worried about stats, and you said the same thing. Was that a discussion that you had with Brett Veach that when you got here, was that, he wasn't worried about the numbers, he was worried about getting wins and getting a championship?
For sure. I think I approached that coming here, knowing that it's already superstars here, and it's Pat's team and it's Tyreek Hill. Not to say I'm not a part of it, but it's Travis KELCE, and I'm just a guy that's trying to add on and win a championship. That was my whole mindset and my whole motive of coming here. And it still is on any team I go on. And when you're winning, the numbers don't matter. And since I've been here, we've been winning, man, and we've been having fun doing it.
What is it about the playoffs, though, that seems to bring out some of their
I just think the high level of playing. Most of the time, guys teams are trying to take away either KELCE or Tyreek Hill, and I know coming in the game I have to be prepared. And certain games they might take away me and 10 go out there and have 15 catches, 100 and whatever many yards. So the job is to win and beat my guy, and when the ball comes to me, just make the play, make the best opportunities.
Okay. Guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, sir. Right.
Start my line and
Good.
Go ahead, guys. So,
can you explain the shirt?
The hoodie?
Yeah.
Oh man, I got it from my good friend in LA. At Zeros. Zeros, it's a clothing store. No, never forget, man. Y'all know the moment when Donald Trump met Kanye. You know, very historical moment in our history.
Frank, you never want to be bashful about talking about your team and how well you guys are going to play. You guys were fired up last week to play. What do you like about your matchup now with the team that you've played against a bunch in your career?
You just said it. I played them a few times in my career. Just played them twice a year when I was in Seattle. Know the guys pretty familiar with the guys. You know, but what I was familiar with playing there, that ain't what I got this year. You know, the 49ers, they've turned that team around. You know, the coaches, the players, that defense, those guys finally came around. And I mean, you look at the season, you know, in the beginning, everybody thought it was a hoax. Everybody thought, you know, they would fall off at some point. But they finished that season strong. And you look at, you know, how they switched that whole conference around. And look at them now. 49ers go from being, you know, out of the playoffs, I believe it was last year, 4 and whatever, to, you know, finishing the season off one of the best teams in the NFL. Hats off.
As you've lined up in practice over the last month of the season, and you see Stephen Wisniewski on the other side there, what element does he give them the offensive line with his mentality and his willingness to attack blocker or attack defensive players?
It just helps. Anytime you got those type of guys, you know, at the end of the day on offense who's able to help us as defenders become better and get greater, you know, we need that. We need more of that.
Coach Reid calls them dirty tough. Would you agree with that?
I agree. I mean, but it's the good dirty tough. You know, the dirty tough that's going to make you a better teammate and a better player at the end of the day.
You played against a better blocking tight end than George Kittle before?
I feel like I've played against a lot of good blocking tight ends in my career. I've been playing 5 years in the league. College, I played against a lot of good blocking tight ends in college. But like I said, he's one to say all around, actually, George Kittle. I'm a fan of him. Great tight end, great receiving tight end. You know, even better blocker this year if you watch film, how he's developed from last year compared to this year, and even, you know, to start his career. Has really developed into, you know, as we would call, you know, one of the top 2, top 3 tight ends in the league. So I'm really looking forward to the matchup.
Frank, 2 questions. How hungry are you for this?
Nah, man, I'm very hungry. I can't even explain it. I've never been there. You know, it's a place I've never been. I'm willing to go to a place I've never been, you know, to get something that I've never had. So I hope that explains it.
Second question is, how do you keep yourself composed and not too up and peak too early?
Just about simmering. I mean, y'all hear me say it on Twitter and stuff. I simmer. And when I say simmer, I'm just, you know, I'm under that boiling point still, you know, I haven't erupted. I haven't, you know, got to this point to where, you know, I'm boiling, but it's still to that point where I'm taking everything in, you know, details, my fundamentals, my techniques every day in practice, still working my game plan, watching the little things on film, trying to pick up, you know, everything I can to that last moment where I shut it off and go into that zone, you know, until I can prepare for that Sunday.
And that zone's an explosion of sorts?
It's an explosion. It's a boiling point.
How are you health-wise right now? You feeling about as good as you felt all year?
If I told you I was hurting, you know, if I'm 20%, 30%, whatever you feel, man, the fact that you're going to the Super Bowl wipes all that away. That's what you play for. You know, guys, you watch every guy around the league. You watch, you know, our locker room, you know, the guys who, you know, didn't make it this far with us. You know, you watch those guys and, you know, I'm sure they wish they can be on that field coming, you know, next Sunday. But, you know, you got guys like us, you know, who's feeling better and who's gotten back to their health, to full health. And, you know, we're just looking forward to going. So to answer your question, I feel good.
Last week you talked about just hitting Derrick Henry, wanting to get some sacks also. Just another guy, though, this week preparing for the Niners, there's a lot of speed in that backfield, I guess. What's your mindset looking at those guys in that running game?
Like my mindset is every week, I feel just on the edge, defeat the block, and, you know, force them to go inside, force them to go the other way. Period. You win your matchup, you win your job, win your individual matchup. You know, I feel like that's the key to victory. It's winning your individual matchup. You look across the board, they got great running backs with speed. Both their running backs, Mostard and 22, both 4-3 guys. You know, you got receivers, you got SAMMY who stepped up. tremendously, man. You watch what he's been doing this year after the catch. You know, I believe he's second in the league after the catch right now, top 10 as far as across for every position, as far as you know, his yards after the catch and what he does when he gets his, the ball in his hands. So look at the guys. You got Jimmy, man. He's throwing the ball better than anybody right now as far as, you know, you're looking at short routes and stuff like that. He's completing a lot of check downs. And then you got the tight end, George Kittle. You know, like I said, my favorite tight end in the league is Travis KELCE, and I feel like he's the best, but right behind him is, you know, George Kittle, I feel. So at the end of the day, you know, when you got a tight end, you know, as good as he is and as fast as he is, I believe he's a 4-5 guy. You know, and another guy who's great at, you know, picking up yards after contact and, you know, extending drives and first downs. So we know this is Jimmy's, you know, go-to guy, you know, where he wants to win games, and, you know we don't have to do to stop him.
Hey, Frank, you guys, this team obviously has a lot of personality. You guys, some of that comes out on Twitter. No one's afraid to say their opinion on upcoming players or games. Does that come from confidence, or is that how you guys are? Has that been building all year?
You can say confidence. Confidence, it comes with preparation, how you prepare. When you see stuff on film and it doesn't lie to you, sometimes, you know, that's what happens. You know, and you try to trust that and you go on the field in hopes that, you know, it doesn't backfire. You know, sometimes it does, you know, and, you know, guys lose or guys out of place, but, you know, sometimes your preparation, you trust it and you go at it and you're confident in it, and it, you know, it pays you back in the way that it does, you know, with victories and with, you know, you making plays. So, I feel like just all around, we became more confident because our coaches trust in us. You know, we feel that, you know, Coach Spags, the system started becoming easier. And I'm sure on offense, you know, they got Pat. You know, you got Pat, you got guys like Tyron, you got guys like the Cheetah, you got guys like SAMMY, you got all these different type of guys, Trav, you know, that can help. And like I said, collectively, we just bind as a group and feel each other vibe.
In the battles you've had over the years with Joe Staley, what really stands out? Does it get emotional out there between you?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say I get emotional. I don't really get emotional out there, you know. I don't really get emotional. It's this man, you know, it's this guy that comes over me sometimes on Sundays, you know, when I'm on the field that, you know, it's no choice. I got to go to that place, to, you know, to help my teammates out the best I can. So,
is his name still Frank Clark, that guy you go to?
Man, you never know. You know, he got a lot of names sometimes. You never know, man. But,
All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Frank.
See y'all, man.
That's not really about there.
All right, go ahead.
How excited are you right now? This is what you've been playing?
Oh yeah, I'm fired up, man. I'm ready to go. The casual conversation right here. You know, I'm fired up. I'm ready, man.
This defense gets their defense gets a lot of publicity. They
Right.
come around this year. You guys faced them last year. You got a little taste of them in spring or the
Preseason,
game.
yep.
What do you take from those games, or is it just entirely different?
Oh yeah, they definitely a different team. I believe the front seven is definitely the strength of the team. I mean, and then just obviously like their whole defense, like the way that they play, the way that they rally to the ball is tremendous. So we just got to continue what we've been doing all year and just playing Chiefs ball, man.
What kind of element does Richard Sherman provide for that defense?
Who?
Richard Sherman.
Oh, what do you mean?
The way he plays, the veteran presence back there.
He's a very smart corner, man. I mean, he's been in the game a long time. He done seen a lot of concepts and, you know what I'm saying, routes and everything in the league. So, I mean, the receivers, tight ends, and everybody in this offense, we got to be on our toes and know where he is on the field because he is a vet in the game and he's smart.
Coaches, players, people always talk about how when teams play you guys, offense, or when they're trying to defend your offense, they're always trying to remove you and Travis KELCE from the game plan. As a player, how do you approach, each play, each situation, knowing that you're either going to be double teamed or going to be in a situation where you have to, escape it? Going into the preparation, how do you approach that?
What's crazy is we prepare every week trying to defeat double teams. Coach Reid always tells us, like, even if you're double, you're still alive in this offense, So it's a certain way that you got to attack it when running routes when you got two people on you, So that's just preparing.
The other day, McCole and Darwin about the speed of the game
Mhm.
and how quick the 49ers are. Your experience, how do you talk to rookies like that and kind of get them, or better prepare them for how quickly it's going to be?
Oh, it's definitely going to be a fast tempo game. The way that we play and the way that those guys play is just up tempo ball. So, I mean, we just got to practice like each and every day. I mean, those guys are big parts of this offense, and they have been getting a little taste of how fast the tempo is. So, they'll be good.
Tyreek, is there a Super Bowl memory that you remember watching games growing up, a team you followed or anything, or a specific game?
Super Bowl memory. I don't. None other than the Julian Edelman catch. It's probably the most recent one, but nah, that's probably it. Or when the lights went out in the Super Bowl. That's probably the only one. Because I was a Ray Lewis fan at the time, so.
Sorry about that. You came in and said you were fired up. How are you keeping it chill? You still got 8, 9, 10 days before the game.
Oh, I just go home and I play Madden, man. So I like play my own Super Bowl. I play the Chiefs versus the 49ers, and I just get my thing going. Of course, I'm throwing myself the ball, so Huh? And Chiefs every time. It's on rookie though. I play on rookie, so don't judge me. Don't nobody judge me. I play on rookie, man.
Tyreek, is there like a theme song that's going through the locker room this year with this group of guys? Andy Reid said their personality show. Do you still have a song that you guys are listening to prepare for this Super Bowl?
Only thing I know is like there's a song that they play every day in practice, and it's like getting on my nerve. I don't know the name of it. It's like getting on my, like I hear it, but I don't know the words. But that could be the theme song that he's talking about because I hear it every day at practice.
Brent Veach said that when he went out and got guys like Sammy, it was for the intense purposes of winning championships. During the postseason, I mean, what is it that Sammy has really brought to this team that's put you in the spot?
Definitely leadership and the way that he plays the game. I feel like, what people don't know about Sammy is he attacks every day the same way. You know what I'm saying? Head down, humble guy, and he works hard, and he's trying to be the best. You know what I'm saying? We compete within each other. You know what I'm saying? Who can run the better route? Who can catch the best? You know what I'm saying? And all other sorts of things. My bad, but. Sammy is a great route runner. He's a great pass catcher. He can do it all. He can block. And what y'all saw last week was what Sammy is on this team for, you know what I'm saying, to make those big catches and to make those big blocks and take it to the house and then point at the guy while he's running into the end zone. He didn't get fined, though. I would have got fined, but he's here for those moments.
You worked a lot in that offseason with Keith Williams. What has working with him really done for you as a receiver?
Just taught me how to play the game, you know what I'm saying, and just being a man outside of football. Keith is a real family man. He has a wife, he has kids, and then every time I go see Keith, it's about ball, but it's about, you know what I'm saying, life after ball, and like who do you want to be and what you want your legacy to be, you know what I'm saying, whenever you retire. You know what I'm saying? We always talk about that, hone on that every time I go. But as far as the football aspect, route running, how to be a magician, and how to be creative with your routes, things like that.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tyreek.
Hi, guys.
So you made a stir on the stage there with Jim Nance. He's talking a little bit about trying to get that microphone away from you, trying to get from him. How much fun were you having up there on the stage, getting everyone fired up?
Man, it was a blast. It was a blast. It was a feeling I had never felt before. And then in terms of trying to steal the mic, I wasn't trying to steal the mic. I just didn't want Nance to take it away before I hit the punchline, right? So it was just a little bit of excitement. Yeah, not so much a tug of war, just making sure that I got everything out that I needed.
How long have you been sitting on that Beastie Boys reference?
It was playing all day. A lot of people think I just came up with that on the spot, but we play that song after every time we score a touchdown. So it was, and we scored quite a few these past 2 weeks. So it was kind of just stuck in my head, and it felt like the timing was right.
People talk about the best tight ends in the game in this Super Bowl. What do you think about George Kittle, and if you admire any skill from him?
It's just about everybody in the world thinks the world of George Kittle. He's an unbelievable person, unbelievable amount of energy. How he plays the game with the tenacity is it's one of a kind, man. It's special.
Have you met George, and did you see similarities in your game and your personality with his?
I think we're both positive guys. We both love to play the game. At the same time, we both love life, and with that comes a lot of responsibility in the tight end room to be not just a one-dimensional player, be almost a utility guy in the locker room. Whatever the team needs, that's what we're capable of doing. In terms of similarities, I do believe the run after catch is something that I've been able to have a knack for since I've been in the league, and obviously since Kittle's been in the league, he's taken that to a whole nother level.
Hey, Travis, you were here a few years ago when the Royals made that run. I knew around the city. What do you remember about that run and what the city is like when it's kind of a championship deal?
How much this city rallies around the sports is it's second to none, and that's why I love being here. I want to play here for my entire career because of the type of support we get from this community, and then on top of that, how crazy it gets on Sundays, man. It never gets old.
Did you let your mind wander at that point to think, hey, it's blue now, but what potentially it could be, and the Chiefs made it?
No, but everybody else let me know.
How much advice your brother give you about getting to the Super Bowl, preparing for all that?
I haven't really talked to him too much about it. I got a special experience to be able to kind of follow my brother very closely throughout the 2 weeks that he had going through his Super Bowl. Kind of be a fly on the wall in a lot of different ways, and just hearing him talk about it, I mean, there's so many distractions, as everybody knows. It's that crazy week in Miami. You can amp everything up a whole 10 times, and you just got to be able to sort through the real and be able to be there for your teammates in the building with the right mindset every single day.
Travis, how will you spend the next 48 hours between now and the time you head to Miami?
Being right here in this facility, working and trying to figure out how to beat the Niners. I mean, that's been my mindset ever since we won the game last week, and you know what? I don't see that mindset changing. We got 2 weeks for the biggest game of my life, right? So and the clock's ticking.
What was it like to have your brother out on the field? And is he going to be part of next week with you like you were with him?
Yeah, right now he's got the family down in Orlando, so he'll after the Pro Bowl he'll make his way down to South Florida, and we'll have some fun.
You always got close with Eric Hosmer at the time. Did any of the Royals reach out to you? Have they reached out to you?
A few of the Royals now and Big Haas gave me a shout on Instagram and let me know, the boys are rallying and it's time for us to bring one home for the city.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Have a good one, guys. Stay warm.
That's it.
Yeah, I have.
They got nothing.